essentially what you're going to do is you'll start with your palm on the ground and lift the armpit up. Then you'll try to lift the hand up without lowering the armpit. So you try to keep the armpit up, then lift the hand up. Then you'll simply internally rotate the arm as you go around to the back side, bend the elbow, tap your opposite shoulder blade without resting. Doot! And then back around, you'll externally rotate to unwind, and you'll come back to center. Okay, so you're going to feel the rotation of the arm as you go. And the whole time, you see how my shoulder is staying lifted away from the ground. So I'm not dropping it down and using that as leverage to move. And I'm also up here, I'm not dropping it down this way. So at first, my suggestion is you use the ground as leverage to pop the armpit up, and then you keep the armpit lifted the whole time. Okay. Continuing on that same theme, take your arms out to the sides, internally rotate the arms, and then bring the hands, touch your thumbs without touching the back. So then you can go back out, internal rotation, all the way through external rotation and up. Maybe if you can, touch your palms together at the top. Elbows will be slightly in front of your eyes, in front of your face. And then internally rotate to come back down. Both arms are gonna come together. Some of you will tap fingertips, thumbs, whatever goes. Coming back, externally rotate all the way up. Press palms together. And then all the way back. Internally rotate the arms. Press thumbs together, or fists together is fine too, just don't touch your back. You're gonna go inward. So you can start with one hand that makes the most sense, right? And I'm spreading my fingers. Do the other side, right? This is gonna be fairly simple, of course, at first. And how much weight you put on this is gonna make it more or less challenging. So obviously if you want more weight, you can move your knees back further, like you're in plank pose on knees. But before you do that, you can do both hands, circular movements. If you're putting all your weight in your knees, it's going to be very easy or easier. So if you need less weight, lean back. If you need more weight, more intensity, lean forward. Let's do kind of what we did the other day where we pulled ourselves, but instead we'll make it a little bit more accessible by keeping the socks on the hand and doing our lat pull downs. Now, how do you increase the intensity of this if you're not pulling your body forward? You would push the hands down strongly into the ground. And by doing that, if you lift your armpits up when you push your hands down, you're actually going to be activating latissimus dorsi quite a bit. So you increase latissimus dorsi activation by popping the armpits up and then pulling. So armpits up, press down with your hands and then pull. And again, latissimus dorsi is going to help with your internal rotation. You can also try to take your hands a little bit wider, finding that the wider my hands are, I'm getting a little more rotator cuff. Usually where I suggest you start this pose is working on this humbled warrior position and getting a little bit deeper into this than maybe you think you can. I mean, obviously without strain or injury or anything like that. I don't ever mean that. But the point is to get your shoulder, I'm going to show on the other side, the right shoulder in this case, lower than the thigh. If it's above and you're trying to rotate, you'll run out of room. This becomes like a fulcrum point, pushes the shoulder too far forward and doesn't give you enough movement. So you want to free up that shoulder, and you'll notice that if you get your shoulder below the hand here now has a lot more available movement just because your shoulder is not fixed and getting punched by the leg. So you see my shoulder is now below, and I can simply, I think almost everybody can basically do this with the shoulder so long as the hip flexibility is there. Now, if this proves to be impossible, you can clasp your fingers. Otherwise, your bottom hand grabs the top hand, grabs the wrist, or pass the strap around and pull it apart with your hands here. Okay, so the actions, really it's about getting low in the pelvis first, tipping forward and taking your time and getting low, then placing the bottom arm on top of the buttocks and trying to place the top, internally rotate, place the top wrist inside the bottom hand, right? Then if you want to go further than there, you can scoop your tailbone, turn your chest, lengthen like a back bend a little bit, and then I'm going to roll my left shoulder forward slightly, just slightly, as I turn my chest open.